This is THV 11 News at 6.
A major decision out of Pulaski County tonight, where a judge has ruled that Arkansas Act 236 conflicts with the state constitution by increasing the number of counties required to collect signatures for citizen-led ballot initiatives. The League of Women Voters of Arkansas and State Senator Brian King filed the lawsuit in 2023, arguing the change unfairly restricted Arkansans' constitutional rights. Attorney General Tim Griffin says his office plans to appeal. That decision comes as we prepare for early voting next week. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Brooke Buckner. We have a lot of election information we're going to share with you all tonight. But first, we're going to bring in Chief Meteorologist Tom Brannon for an update on the weather because we have some rain making its way into your Valentine's Day plans. What's up with that, Tom?
Yeah, be my soggy Valentine, right?
Soggy sweetheart.
Talking about that. Oh, I like that better.
Thank you.
Soggy sweetheart.
I do too.
The alliteration there. I like that.
It's like Brooke Buckner.
Yeah. Soggy sweetheart.
That's right.
Yeah, this is what we have coming at you. It's a weather impact alert for your Valentine's Day. Skies will continue to cloud over tonight, thicken up. Rain chances begin tomorrow as early as the morning hours for western and northwestern Arkansas. Our chances really come along tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. It will not rain all day in central Arkansas and the metro area, but it will be building in from west to east. So we have the weather impact alert because it's going to impact your Valentine's Day plans. Here is the timing, the latest timing. As of 6:30 tomorrow morning, we're going to be seeing showers and storms here in northwest. We begin to see those rain chances get a little closer to central Arkansas. By 6 o'clock, they begin to cover us up. Some thunder can't be ruled out. A strong storm in southwest Arkansas can't be ruled out. But I think we're looking at mainly some very heavy rainfall here in the Little Rock metro area and a swath on the, say, I-30 corridor from southwest through central and northeast Arkansas. 2 to 3 or even 4 inches of rain. Weather impact alert Saturday. Things improve on Sunday, but we'll keep the clouds after some morning showers. Looking ahead to some warmer temperatures next week, Brooke.
Thanks, Tom. Early voting starts Monday, but up in the eastern half of the state, the primaries won't be contested. Representative Rick Crawford of Jonesboro will likely face Democratic Dr. Terry Yarbrough Green of Paragould in November. She's a retired pathologist. Crawford is hoping Republicans hold their majority to retain his spot as chair of the House Intelligence Committee. That's in the 1st Congressional District, but the 2nd is the one already drawing major attention. 4 candidates are running for the seat, including incumbent French Hill. THV 11's Tanya Motorzitsky breaks down what voters need to know about the District 2 ballot.
From the rising cost of living to the push for new jobs, affordability is shaping the conversation in Arkansas's 2nd Congressional District as 4 candidates compete for a seat in Congress.
Bringing back jobs here, opening up product lines, so, that also, our Arkansans have degrees. There's just nowhere to go with it. I want you to own your own land. You're part of the American dream. It's made it extremely difficult because we've allowed big box business to come in and buy all of our single family homes.
Democratic candidate Chris Jones says lowering costs for families starts with the policies that support workers while making Arkansas more competitive for employers.
Our delegation is voted in a way that would close rural hospitals. They're supporting things like tariffs, which are taxes, which are killing our farmers. We have 1 in 3 farmers that are at risk of bankruptcy. We know that when we support the Affordable Care Act, that provides health care to millions of people. Second thing I'll give you real quick is SNAP benefits. We know that when folks have access to SNAP benefits, they have food on their table, and it actually brings down poverty.
Republican challenger Chris McDowell, who's trying to unseat incumbent French Hill, says new technologies like AI can drive economic growth.
I'm not going to pump 7 million gallons of water per plant into the atmosphere because I do care about our brothers and sisters over in Georgia and in our sister states over there. And I don't think that it's wise to pump that much water into the atmosphere when they can be submerged and cooled within itself. And you're using just a regular type of a system that you use in your car to keep these servers cool.
Jones argues government must keep a close watch on AI development.
We can have progress and innovation and tech and also do it in a way that directly benefits and helps a large swath of people, the most people. So when I think about things like data centers, the question is, well, what benefit is going to the community?
The race also includes Hill, who emphasized fiscal responsibility and economic growth during his time in office, along with Democratic challenger Zach Hoffman. In Little Rock, Tanya Motorzitsky, THV 11 News.
Tanya, thank you. We did reach out to Hill and Huffman for comments, but they did not respond by our deadline. Hill is counting on Republicans retaining their House majority to keep his position as chair of the Banking and Finance Committee. Similar to District 1, Representative Steve Womack won't face a challenger in the 3rd Congressional District until November. There is one person running unopposed in Democrat, Rob Ryers, and one filed as an independent in Progressive, Christopher Hocevar. Womack is seeking his 9th term and sits on the powerful House Appropriations Committee. Democrats in the western and southwestern part of the state will have to decide who will challenge Republican Bruce Westerman in November. Steve O'Donnell is a Navy veteran and business owner originally from Sevier County. James Russell lost to Chris Jones in the wide-open Democratic primary for governor in 2022. He now hopes to challenge Westerman.
We're continuing to talk about it. We're continuing to raise the profile, and obviously we're continuing to arrest bad actors.
9 men now behind bars in Hot Springs following a multi-agency operation led by Attorney General Tim Griffin's office. The arrests stem from a 2-year investigation into human trafficking tied to illicit massage businesses and online platforms where sex was allegedly arranged for money. In the press conference, the AG touted a law that he fought to change back in 2023 that raised the penalty for solicitation charges from an unclassified misdemeanor to a Class A misdemeanor. The law also made it where a second offense would be a felony.
That is a major, major change. And this law, here's the bill, is now being used by all of us here to clean up this mess and to keep us, to make us safer and to demonstrate that we're not going to tolerate this.
Griffin also says he and his office are sharing what works best with leaders in other states to help fight the issue across the country. Over in Northwest Arkansas, federal, state, and local law enforcement wrapped up a 3-day operation in Springdale targeting gang, drug, and violent crime. Authorities say they made 340 arrests and cleared 110 warrants. Officers also seized guns, meth, cocaine, and nearly 100 grams of fentanyl. Investigators say they also found a child listed as missing during the operation. $51.8 million and growing. That's how much Arkansans lose to fraud and scams every year. Today, lawmakers and experts from across the state met to discuss how to fight back. THV 11's Carter Thweet has the numbers and some possible solutions.
73% of U.S. adults have experienced some type of online scam or cyber attack.
That number set the stage for Friday's meeting at the state capitol complex. Lori Trogdon presented it. She's the CEO of the Arkansas Bankers Association.
Romance scams, catfishing, tech support scams. And like I said, we have bankers and others here today to share more about what they're experiencing. But some of the most common tactics are spoofed bank telephone numbers.
That's when a caller appears on your phone as a bank or trusted organization, but isn't. It can be very convincing. Brandon Moss with First Security Bank shared stories of customers scammed out of significant amounts of money.
She was the victim of several other scams that we discovered with a total loss to her of $44,000. A wire for $1.1 million that we fortunately were able to recover for our customer working with the receiving bank, but that's most often not the case.
Other presenters included representatives from the State Attorney General's office and the American Bankers Association. Many offered ideas for future legislation aimed at reducing fraud.
You can all pass legislation, which Senator Johnson referred to in 2027, to hold telemarketing companies and social media platforms accountable if they knowingly facilitate fraudulent calls, text, or ads on their platforms.
State Senator Mark Johnson said the levels of fraud discussed were frightening, and he wants to do something about it.
We need to make an example of some of these fraudsters where others will see that there is a downside risk to trying to defraud people, and you could very well end up going to jail, not just paying restitution or a fine, but going to jail.
At the Capitol, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
Thanks, Carter. Officials also say seniors are hit hardest, more than half of all money lost coming from people 60 and older. All of this data comes from the FBI's 2024 report, as the 2025 report has not yet been released. In just under 6 hours, part of the federal government will be shut down once again unless lawmakers come to a deal to fund the Department of Homeland Security. Though that seems very unlikely to happen before the clock strikes midnight, Democrats continue to demand, quote, dramatic reforms to ICE before they agree to fund DHS, including requiring federal agents to get judicial warrants before entering private property and remove masks during operations.
Republicans chose chaos, and the Democrats, we refused. Republicans chose to put a bill on the floor that ignored the abuses, ignored the outrage, ignored what the American people want overwhelmingly.
Republicans like President Trump and Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton, however, are continuing to defend the immigration crackdown and say conversations on reform can take place once the agency is funded.
Sad irony is that ICE and Border Patrol will continue their operations without any change. But if Arkansans are flying, the TSA may be delayed. If they're trying to recover from this bad winter storm or from some of the tornadoes that we frequently have, FEMA might be delayed in its operation. That's in addition to things like the Coast Guard and the Secret Service. So the Democrats need to recognize that since they admit they won't achieve anything by shutting down these critical agencies, that it's really time to fund them, and then we can debate illegal immigration all they want.
Once the shutdown begins, ICE and Border Patrol will continue to be funded with money from the One Big Beautiful Bill, while other agencies under DHS, including FEMA and TSA, would work without pay. Lawmakers say they have been told they will be given a 48-hour notice to return to D.C. to vote on a bill if a deal can be struck.
Well, here's a quick look at what's happening in your weekend forecast. Weather impact alert Saturday for rain that's going to pick up during the afternoon hours. Could be heavy at times. 2 to 3, maybe even more inches of rain expected. I'll have the timing and the amounts when we come back and a look ahead at some warmer temperatures.